We made it. Today is the day we have all been waiting for, especially myself. Today is a fresh new start, a new beginning, because today is season 2, episode 1 of the Fan Showdown. And I've made some changes to how we're gonna be doing stuff. Now, before that though, I bet there's some new faces out there. Some of you guys have probably just stumbled onto this video and never seen anything else on my channel, and you're like, what strange corner of the internet have I found? Well, let me tell you. I'm James, this is Major Hardware, and my channel is it's kind of what would happen if you took PC tech and threw a 3D printer at it. This specific video is part of an amazing series called the Fan Showdown, where you out there try your hand at designing the best 120mm fan the world has ever seen. And then you take those designs, you save them off as an STL file, and you submit them to me via email, and I'll print them out and give them a squirrel. I know what you're thinking though. You're probably like, I know nothing of fluid dynamics or 3D modeling. I couldn't possibly come up with anything worthwhile. And to that I say nay, because it doesn't matter how good your designs are. We're just here to have fun. If you go back to watch season 1, we've seen both ends of the spectrum. We've seen fans so good that manufacturers reached out to try to get in contact with the designer so they could license the fan to use in the real world. And then, we saw fans on the other side that were really, well, do you remember Bryce's fan? He was literally just here for the memes, and I'll try them all. But before we get into it, let's talk about what's different in season 2. First off, custom water cooling is out. We're gonna go with air cooling for season 2, and we're gonna be using the NH-U12A. In the last video that I uploaded, it was kind of an air cooler showdown, and after that video, I asked you guys to go to my community tab and vote on which air cooler you want to see in season 2. And more than 9,000 of you guys actually went and voted, which is pretty impressive. And of those 9,000 votes, 74% of you guys said the U12A was your guy. I also made the comment that I wanted to use the 3700X within a case, but a lot of you guys made a very valid point that if we do that, it's going to limit how big or creative you guys can be with your fan designs. We can't have that. So the test bench is back for season 2, so don't worry about that one. As for the 3700X though, you guys also said that if we use the 3700X, because the frequency is so dependent on temperature, it could add another variable that we just simply don't need to deal with on season 2. And also the TDP of the 3700X is only 65 watts out of the box, whereas even though the 7700K is quite old, it's still 91 watts out of the box. And if we overclock it like we have been to 4.9 gigahertz, it's just going to put out more heat, and that's kind of what we need for this testing anyway. And lastly, in season 2, I'll be limiting all the fans to 1200 RPMs, and I'm doing this, I'm doing it with a small Noctua, fan controller, and just kind of measuring the RPMs with this laser pointer. But other than, it's a laser tachometer, not just a laser pointer. But in season 1, we kind of let everything run as fast as it possibly could, which drastically changed based on the mass of the fan and how much, resistance the fan had in the airstream. So I think it's better off, I think it's better if we limit everything to 1200 RPMs, because then it really kind of depends. The big separating factor will be the efficiency of the fan blade design, which I think might be cool. And I chose 1200 RPMs because the A12X25, the ultra low noise version of this fan, spins at 1200 RPMs, and it'll kind of give us a real world analog to base all this off of. Now, I'll still be running the smoke test and the noise test at full tilt, and I'm doing the noise test at full speed because if you run any fan at like 1200 RPMs, even Bryce's fan, running that slow is pretty much silent. So though, those are the new parameters. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. If you think it's a bad idea, a good idea, let me know why. It's only episode 1, so we do have time to tweak the parameters if you guys so decide to. Now for the main event. Now before we continue, I want to thank Private Internet Access for sponsoring this video. In a world where data privacy is almost non-existent, how can you strengthen your data privacy? One way is to choose a well-regarded VPN like PIA. PIA has earned PC Mag's Editor's Choice, and I totally understand why. Founded in 2010, Private Internet Access is the leading no-log VPN service that has unlimited access to 10,000 servers in 70 countries. And regardless of what platform you're on, there's a dedicated app for it. All platforms like Windows, Mac, iOS, Android, Amazon Fire Stick, Linux, and more. If you want to unblock streaming services in your region like Amazon Prime, Netflix US, UK, Hulu, Disney Plus, and the BBC, PIA can do that. And PIA isn't just for streaming content. Another thing that I use PIA for is hiding my IP address and encrypting the connection. Private Internet Access can help you with a lot of stuff. If you want to play games that aren't available in your region, it can help you with that. Access blocked websites, it can help you with that. And secure any payment. Also, they offer a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you really have nothing to lose. With multiple payment options, getting a great VPN has never been easier. Make sure to use my link in the description below to help support the channel and also get 77% off and 3 extra months for free. Start browsing freely and securely. Get PIA today. The first fan in Season 2, Episode 1 is the Boomer. And the Boomer was designed by Niles, and the inspiration behind this fan was, well, a boomerang. And the CFM of the boomerang, or the Boomer fan, as measured through the air cooler, was 13.16. Oh, and if you guys were wondering what PLA we're using, this is Form Futura's Brilliant Orange Silk Gloss PLA. I'll leave a comment down below if you want to pick yourself up some. It actually looks pretty darn good. Now, Niles did say if I printed this fan at 100% infill, it would have the perfect balance, and I'm sorry, Niles, I failed you because I didn't print it at 100% infill. I didn't actually see that in time. So if I wasn't such a papega, it probably would do better. Just keep that in mind, though, when you're watching this fan. If it vibrates a lot, there is possibly hidden potential that is not foreseen because I suck at reading instructions. But other than that, I just simply like how the Boomer looks. It reminds me kind of like a symmetrically pleasing one-bladed wonder, and the transition between the blades is very well done. And personally, if I just saw this thing sitting at a Micro Center, I would probably just pick it up just because it looks sweet. So that has to mean something. Up next, though, is a fan whose designer didn't know if they wanted to go with 7 blades or 14 blades. So they're like, meh, let's just do them both. This is the Duplex. It was designed by Care, and the CFM of the Duplex is 26.42 at 1200 RPM. Now, if you take a look at the Duplex, it starts out as a normal 7-blade fan at the hub, and then as you move out along the blades at the midpoint, they split and become 14 blades at the tip. This is one of those fans that I initially just seen the model when I was going through the Fan Showdown email, and I was like, now that looks kind of cool. I actually say that quite often when looking at the Fan Showdown entries. You guys come up with some pretty good stuff. Now, this next entry is one of those fan designs that I've seen commented like 100 times in the past, and a lot of you guys are going to be pretty darn excited that it's here. And you've probably literally experienced this type of fan in your life at some point or another. This is the Uneven Harmony, and it was designed by Josh, and it produces 27.77 CFM of airflow, and the inspiration behind this fan came from seeing the fan on a Ford F-250 while he was working on it at work. Now, this actually isn't really that new of an idea. It's been around for quite some time, especially in the automotive world. It's even been around in the PC space for quite a while. If you remember back when Apple filed that patent for asymmetrical blade spacing that they use in their MacBook Pro way back when. I don't even remember how, it was a while ago. The idea behind this design is to try to quiet down a fan by disrupting its blade pass frequency. And the blade pass frequency produces harmonics from the pressure wave formed at the tip of each blade. For example, let's say you have 2 fans. One has 3 blades, one has 11 blades, and they're both spinning at 2,000 RPMs. Which one of those 2 fans do you think is more annoying to listen to? We can kind of figure this out by taking the RPM times the blade count, so 11 times 2,000 or 3 times 2,000, and then dividing that by 60. And when we do that, you'll get, well, for the 3-bladed fan, you'll get a blade pass frequency of 100 hertz, whereas the 11-blade fan will have a blade pass frequency of 367 hertz, and we all know that for most of us, the higher pitched the sound is, well, the more annoying or the harsher it is on our ears. And this is what the uneven blade spacing is trying to combat. By having an asymmetrical spacing, the spectral distribution of the tones is altered, making the sound less grating to your ears. As for the Uneven Harmony, I think he did actually a pretty good job replicating the design. The only gripe that I have with this fan is that it was printed very, very thin. He designed the fan blades so thin that they were like literally 1 layer line thick, and it was very tough to remove the support material from the fan blades without destroying them. Actually took me a couple tries, but I got it, and in the end, it turned out pretty darn good. Now, last is another one of those fans that just simply looks awesome. This is the Wave. It was created by Care, and it produces 27.24 CFM of airflow. And just like the Boomer, it's another one of those fans that if I saw it sitting on a shelf, I would pick it up for my next PC build because I think it just looks sweet. If you threw RGB on that, I mean, let's be honest, who wouldn't buy that? Also, though, if you're thinking, wait a minute, Care? You talking about the same Care that did the Duplex fan? Yeah, same one. And I literally just realized that when I was putting this together. Normally, so there's no limits to how many fans you can submit to the Fan Showdown, but I normally try to keep it to 1 designer per episode, but somehow I pegged that one as well, and Care got in there twice. And I don't know how many fans you would have to submit to the Fan Showdown, that I could pick 2 of yours out of the literally sea of 100 submissions, but I did it. So, Carrie, you probably want to buy a lottery ticket because you got in here twice somehow. You do have 2 pretty nice looking fans, but what are the chances? For sound testing, let's start with the Boomer because there's no way that's not going to sound just interesting on its own. The Boomer came in at 45.2 dBA and had an almost pleasing sound. The Duplex was a bit quieter at 43.9 dBA, but it was a bit higher pitched. The Wave was just a tad quieter than the Duplex at 43.2 and had a similar pitch, but just was maybe slightly less harsh. And then the Uneven Harmony, it wasn't the quietest, coming in at 44.6, but you can definitely tell that there's 2 distinct tones coming from this fan, so the design is working. And to me, I do actually find this fan quite a bit easier to listen to than the others, even though it's not the quietest out of the bunch. I do also like the Boomer, so maybe those 2 are pretty similar. So yeah, that's how they sounded, which is very interesting, but how do they move the air around? So where are these 4 fans going to be sitting on the board? The Boomer finished with an average temperature of 85.4 at a room temperature of 22.2, giving it a delta of 63.2. The Duplex finished with an average temperature of 82 degrees at a room temperature of 22.2, giving it a delta of 59.8. The Wave finished with an average temperature of 81.9 at a room temperature of 22.3, giving it a delta of 59.6. And the Harmony finished with an average temperature of 81 degrees at a room temperature of 22 degrees, giving it a delta of 59. Putting the Uneven Harmony first, the Wave second, the Duplex third, and the Boomer fourth. But you know what's even crazier than that? I also ran the A12X25 at the same 1200 RPMs on the U12A, and it finished with an average temperature of 81.9 degrees at a room temperature of 22.1, giving it a delta of 59.8. Meaning that it only beat the Boomer and tied the Duplex. What? And then just as a sanity check, after seeing those crazy numbers, I ran the A12X25 again at max speed just to make sure that the U12A actually had some cooling performance still in it. And at full tilt, it finished with an average temperature of 77.1 at a room temperature of 22 degrees, giving it a delta of 55.1. So what that tells me is, yes, this cooler does have headroom. There is more cooling performance to be had at 1200 RPMs. And surprisingly, the A12X25 is not perfect at 1200 RPMs. And 3 of these fans were at least as good, if not better. So I hope you guys enjoyed Season 2, Episode 1. Kind of starting out crazy that the A12X25 is not going to be on top. It's going to be this guy, the Uneven Harmony. And then Care is somehow on the board with 2 fans because he's somehow the luckiest person alive. And, well, we like this one. But there's a spot still up for grabs, and maybe you can knock off these 3 guys in the next episode. So make sure you get your submissions over to thefanshowdown@gmail.com. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next video.